I'm just going through some images here. I thought it was would be a good time to make a video. I'm just trying to make sure there's no reflections going on the screen. I know it's not ideal. It's a bit low on it, this tripod. I'd be maybe best off using OBS next time instead of recording the screen. But I've not got a microphone. I've not got a microphone. I need to buy one. Right, so that's too low. The tripod's too low. So it is. It's too low. I'm not going to speak to that down there. Hopefully you can still hear me. I can cut that out. Right, so let's just go through some of these images. I've got some new images to that I've taken of the sky. You know, the ones that I showed in the previous video, when I made a video about all the images that I had taken. I was a bit, you could tell in that video I was a bit nervous, yeah, I was a bit nervous, and I was a bit, had a lot of things going on at the time, you know, but I'm a bit better now regarding making videos and speaking. Because last time I done this, I just dived right into it. I didn't have I've never got any set script about what I'm going to say. I just press record and then see what happens. So this image here, it was the end of the night when I was taking a series of images of incoming clouds moving in towards the horizon to I should have these in order, shouldn't I? But let's just go through them and see. So here we have 3 puffs of cloud. It's too bright, that light's too bright. 3 puffs of cloud. I thought it was unusual, so I took a picture of it. Actually, I didn't see them at the time. And there's also a triangular outline here. And see this 108 megapixel image, and you wouldn't think it was 108 megapixel because it looks grainy, but that's because of the low light. It's just because it's low light. Anyway, there's a triangular feature here, right? I should have put these in order. Not organised. I'm going to just go through my new pictures, and some of the old ones will still be here. This was a triangular outline made in the soil that the gardener decided to put underneath my window. Okay, you see that? So I'll put that in this folder. I've added quite a few new images to this folder here. I thought that one was deserved to go in there. This one is, it looks like it's blue and red in the sky there. It looks like there's 2 different light sources. Mind you, it's late at night. If we look at the time stamp on that, I think it's around about 9 o'clock. But yeah, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Right, and I've also got some new thoughts on the old images that I've taken as well. This is in here. It's a bit random, isn't it? I'd actually need to open up the CryEngine and show you what happened there. Let me just go through these. Right, so see that image, the first image I take there. You can tell none of this is in I'm not organised whatsoever. So if you don't like that, then that's your, then switch off, go to another channel, because I'm not going to spend all day organising. I'm not going to sound like a dickhead. So saying that. Right. So this image is a horizon cloud formation in real time. Let's go through this one then, right? You can see this one was taken a specific time. It was the first image. You can see this strange cloud moving in. Strange cloud moving in. It's being pushed towards the horizon because there's something on the horizon that they don't want you to see. So you can see this is an unusual looking cloud as well. This is like a big sheet, and it stays in place and it gets pushed down, and you can see how it's got ripples through it, right? We know what that is because it's being pushed down towards the horizon. And see there's a gap in between these images here, in between this one and this one, because I was watching a documentary on my phone at the time about Glasgow, and I missed these what happened in between here. And so there's a half an hour gap in between this one and that one. And so as you can see, the horizon, they've all went down to the horizon and started, and then there's more on its way down to the horizon there. You can see this image, the horizon's getting, the cloud wall is getting built up. It's getting built up more here, more. You can see the ripples, look at the ripples there, right? We know what that is. And then boom, the moon rises and something else rises too. Let's just go back a second. There's a triangular formation in the clouds there. They've got quite a few of these. I've got a whole folder full of them. So the moon starts to rise, that's the moon there. And then there's a glow starts to happen where where that cloud has been pushed down towards. You can see the Orion there, that's cool. Let's go down to the next one. And I've got an adjusted version of a couple of these images, and you can see the sky, this glowing, right? So you can see we've just watched the sequence of the clouds being pushed towards the horizon here, and now you can see the horizon is full of thick clouds and it's starting to glow, right? You can see it's starting to glow here because they've not went to all that hard work for no reason. They're pushing all those clouds down there using frequency. It's to cover this. Here we can see the moon is risen, and we can see an ominous glow in the sky there, and this is after midnight. It's after midnight and there's something clearly glowing in the sky next to the moon, and I've not taken all these images for nothing, you know, because there's something going on, right? Well, why would I do all that? Right, to show you what other people have seen and what other people have seen as well. See, the sky is really glowing there. I'm just looking into the screen on the camera. It looks good. You can see how it's even risen. The light is actually moving up. You know, I mean, you can see it's actually like it's as if it's rising with the sun, with the moon. If we go back to I mean, let's go back to look at the first image. Look, there's no like light on the horizon there. Do you see that? Let's look at an image later on. You can see there's a light starting to glow in the clouds. And so from the first image here, when I first started taking these images, you can see that there's a glow starting to happen on the horizon. Can you see that? We were here, and then as you can see, it looks as if it's starting to rise as time goes on. You can see the moon is at different elevations here, so this thing's rising It's changing colour as it's rising as well, as it's passing through the atmosphere. You know, like the sun and the sun and the moon does it as well when it's rising. The moon can sometimes appear red or like orangey colour. It's just what's happening here. When it first rises, it's like an orangey red colour, and then it rises up into a more brighter colour. And you can see here, you can see it, and if you've got a pair of eyes, you can see this. You can see that the glow has changed. The glow in the sky is elevated, right? I can see that clear as day. Look at that. And you can see this one is elevated as well. It's not on the horizon anymore. It's not going to stay. Why would it stay in the horizon? These things are in orbit around. There's another triangular outline. I'm just going to go through all the anomalies that I've seen in these images here. So here's there's a clear triangular object happening here. One of the sides has a strange shape to it. Can you see that? It's like a bzzz. And the left hand side of it is really straight. Now you would think that this is just an artifact, right? But see when you capture like multiples of them, you start to think that there's actually something there. And it seems to be like, it's right in the centre as well, look at it. It's right in the centre of this image, and it's like overlooking what's going on. I mean, I'm taking a series of images showing the wall clouds getting formed on the horizon here. And this, whatever it is, just decided to sit in the sky directly centered and to what I'm photographing, and you can see it again in other images. And see, can you see the trees here? That's down at Loch Lomond Shores, right? So this is slightly to the right, and then see this is on my way home, right? This is down the path, the Leven River, and I just thought it's the same area of the sky that I was photographing, but it's from a different location, right? So I was on my way home, and I took this last image. And then I looked at it, and I seen that it had 3 puffs of cloud, which are really unusual. I don't know what they are, but I thought that was quite ominous. And here you can see the triangular formation in that image as well. I've got a better shot of that, so let's move on to the next. None of these are in order, right? We'll go back to that, because I want to speak about that. Right, we've seen these. These 3 images, I've not spoke about these. I was camping out, and the moon came out, and it was behind loads of trees. I should have kept the image in here. See if you could zoom out of this image, you would see basically a lot of trees like intersecting, you know, like a lot of branches going like that. And this me zoomed right in into where the moon is shining through the branches, and I took 3 images, and in them they're quite cool images. But see, in one of them it looks like there's a guy that looks like Elvis, and he's doing a dance. Can you see him with his arm there? And he's got like a sideburns and hair and a forehead and an eyes and a nose and a chin, and there's his other arm. He's doing like an Egyptian dance. You know? See that? You know who that is? I know who that is. That's a number 7 there. Can you see that? It's a number 7. Yeah, a bit of shampoo fell on the floor and created a number 7. Aha, right, so here, this one. Right, let's talk about my Tic Tac sighting. But look at the date on this. I don't know when the date was. August the 26th last year. Right, so I was swimming in this loch. This is Loch Lomond. I went for a swim. It was a really nice, it was summertime, it was nice weather. It's still cold, mind you, in the water, but you don't feel it as much as me just getting out of the water. Like, so I've set up the camera on the shore. A time lapse of the mountain, but I went for a swim at the same time, in the frame of view. I've went for a swim, right, and I seen an elongated capsule, like a white capsule. And listen, I know what a cloud is, and it wasn't a cloud, right? I wouldn't even be speaking about it if it was a cloud. And I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was over here, right? So there was a white elongated object just sitting in the sky up here, and it was really out of the ordinary. It wasn't a cloud, I'm telling you, it was not a cloud. It was nothing else. And it was round about the time that everybody was talking about the Tic Tacs. And I seen it and I noticed it, right? And I noticed that it was something unusual, right? So I immediately, after I thought for a few seconds, it's not a cloud, it's right, and it's just sitting there. It was just sitting here, and I think it was up round about here. If you can see where the mouse is there, so it was a white, elongated capsule type object. It was massive, considering how far away it was. It was huge. So it was a white capsule shaped object in the sky. I've seen it, I've turned around and I've raced towards the camera to try and take a picture of it, because I knew it was something unusual, right? So I've turned around and I've started, like, you know how hard it is to run through water, right? It's like running through. Right, so I've raced back to the camera. I've reviewed, and by the time I had got there, it had gone. Right, so it was gone. There's a Tic Tac. It was watching me swimming. So I've reviewed the footage, and I didn't see anything in the footage. And what I'd gathered was that it had deliberately been kept itself out of the frame, and so it knew where to be, so that it wouldn't be recorded, because it wasn't on the frame. It wasn't on the video. So that tells me that it was something, definitely. The fact that it didn't show up on the camera, it was just, I mean, look how wide it is. It was a 4K time lapse. It's quite a wide shot. And this is, yeah, so it's a still from that video, but yeah, it was a Tic Tac, and it was watching me swimming this day. And it didn't want to be filmed, because if it did, it wouldn't have just vanished. It wouldn't have vanished. And if it wanted to be filmed, it would have showed up on this video, but it obviously didn't want to be filmed. Right, so that's really interesting. I've got a few UFO sightings I've not spoke about, but that's one of them. Yeah, that was just something this week. I don't know, I'm not sure what this is. I captured a picture, a photograph of the rain falling over a spotlight at the night time in the dark, and these lines showed up. I wasn't sure what they are. You can see them a couple of times in the image. Yeah, I thought maybe some kind of anomaly. You know the fast movers? Have you ever heard of fast movers? They go so fast that they really show up on one frame. There's these things that just fly around rapid and we can't see them. There's a lot of things like that. This is a rainbow cloud. Can you see that on the screen there? Right. I was on my way camping one time. I took a picture of the sky because I seen something. It was a rainbow cloud. It's what you call the irradiance cloud irradiance, however you say it. There's other forms of these which can be pretty spectacular, and you might think, wow, it's God or something coming in the sky. Well, it might be. Right, let's just go past. I've enhanced a few images as well. This is a strange insect. It's just an insect, but I looked it up and it had some quite significant. I can't remember, but it was just it is a strange looking insect. Landed on my screen one time. I was like, what the fuck's that? So I used Google Lens, and something came up, but I can't remember what it was. You ever seen anything like that before? Imagine that landing on your screen. You're like, what? Look at that. You can see the pixels on the screen. You can that's the top of this screen here. So it landed. It was sitting there like a little vampire. I was like, what? I looked at it in Google Lens, but I can't be bothered even. Right, so let's talk about this one. This is one night I went for a walk, and you know, there's electric. The night was electric. I went for a walk. I've decided to take some pictures. Do you see that picture I just showed you of the spotlight? It was that night, right? So I'm just walking along the path, I seen an interesting spotlight beams shining through the trees, and I took a picture of that. Then I started to notice like colours and light in the sky recently. Have you seen that when you go into a dark night sky and you can just pick up colours? And maybe I'm just really sensitive. I think I am, but I can see colours in the sky. I can see light in the sky at night time. But I didn't actually see this. This is the strange thing. But I did see it. I must have seen something to take a picture of it. But this is basically a black sky, but it's not black because there's a faint light, and you need to be really sensitive to pick it up. Only sensitive people can see these things. It's basically, we see things that other people can't see. If you can see here, right, this is the original image. You can see that there's a glow coming from the central region, and it's spherical. And this is thick cloud, but it's not thick enough, is it? Because it's not blocking out this. And in the centre, you can see there's a hexagonal feature in the centre. Can you see that? Right, no, well, I've used Photoshop to adjust the settings. Let's go to this one first. Now what I've done here is just inverted it. No, it's just desaturated, and it's just this one desaturated, but you can show but you can see the hexagonal feature more. So I mean, imagine that. This one is adjusted. You can see that it's thick dark clouds. The whole sky is covered in clouds, right? It was a bit strange the way I took a picture of this, to be honest with you, because I just pointed the camera at the sky and took a picture. I didn't see it at the time. Then I looked at it and I was like, whoa, big huge fiery looking ball of flame with a hexagonal feature in the centre. What can you say about that? What is that? Well, we know what it is. We know what it is. You know, with the help of other sky watchers who have seen the same thing, we've gathered what this is. it's a glare from a fake light source which is in low orbit. It's in low orbit and it's creating a huge glare over the face of the Earth in order to cover incoming planets and bodies which are going in between the sun and the Earth. Right? But the thing is, I've been thinking about this one recently, like why? Because it was the middle of the night. This was 1, 2, 3 a.m. So why is there a big light source in the sky with the hexagonal feature in the centre at 1 o'clock in the morning? You know, you've got to do a lot. You've got to do a bit of research and you can figure it out. But there's basically incoming planets and suns, stars, or whatever they are, brown dwarfs, red dwarfs, into our solar system right now, causing changes on the planets that are in the solar system. So basically what's happened here is, right, there's a planet which is being which is moving in between the Earth and the Sun, right, and it's a blazing planet. Whatever it is, we don't know what they are. Blazing. There's a lot of light coming from them anyway. And so these things are passing right now. For the past could be 10, 20 years, they've been passing in between the Sun and the Earth. And when that happens, the light dims, the sunlight dims. Right, so that obviously need to switch on the sun simulator to create a glare. But if you think about why they would have it switched on at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm still trying to work that out. But they've got it switched on, right? The sun simulator to glare out something else. That's what we can gather, right? I've kind of studied it. I know what's going on. But there's another phenomena, anomalies that's happening in the sky. There's lunar triangles around the moon. We'll go back to it, right? As I said, these are not in order. Okay, so I'm just speaking about them randomly. See, this is an extraordinary image, this, by the way, because look how low. This was the same about, when's this? December. December. There was a lot of activity in December. Just gone now. You can see there's something glowing in the clouds, right behind the clouds here, and it's really bright and it's close, which is why they've absolutely smothered the entire shire, the entire town, with low cloud. And you can see how low the cloud is because there's freaking spotlights lighting it up. And it's not raining. There's no reason why these clouds should be so thick and low. It's not raining here at all. It's just incredibly thick, low cloud everywhere, and it's glowing. It's glowing. You're like, what's going on? Why is the whole town covered in low, thick clouds? It's obviously the obscuring things that are going on in the sky. You can see it in this image. There's something glowing here. Right, this was the white object that appeared. In December, there was a white object. There's a white light source. The other one was an orangey red, but this one is a white. And they've went to a lot of lengths to cover this up. Right, let's go into triangular outlines folder. Right, now we've seen this one. Skip. Right, now this is remember this image from the cloud, horizon cloud montage, collage, whatever. And it was in the last series of images where you could see this clearly defined triangular outline in the sky directly in the middle, like centered to where I'm camped. I've got a camp fire here. Now what it reminds me of, have you seen the film The Eternals? And this all happened like after it had been filmed. I think it just got released, when was it, January, February, a couple of months ago. But this all happened before it got released. And if you look at the Eternals poster, you know, because let me just see, Eternals, the Eternals. Look at this. Look at the poster for this. Where is it? There it is there. Anybody seen this poster? Right. That one there. Can you see that on the camera? See that? Freaking triangular thing. Right? And the emergence, the Unimind, and all that. It's all going on. It's all happening. You can clearly see that there's two right angles. Okay, and it's not just one image. I've got these things in multiple images. Here's another one. Let me see. Right, that's the same image, but it's not. Right, hold on. Wait, here's the other one. Here's the one that I started the video from, with the 3 puffs of cloud, which was 108 megapixel. But I also took another image of standard resolution, and the outline showed up more in that one. And it's just to show you that there's a triangular outline in the clouds there. See, that's the original. Right, here's another one. This was a strange night. Because I went out for a walk and the amount of things that I captured in the sky was just insane. I went out for 10 minutes and I came back with umpteen triangular cloud formations in the sky above me. Glowing clouds, glowing areas of the sky which shouldn't be glowing. Right, so you can clearly see there's something going on in the sky there. Right, go to the next one. So there's another one here. This is from a video I made a while ago, when they were just chemtrailing the sky non-stop in front of my mother's kitchen window, where I usually sit and have a smoke. They were chemtrailing the sky like you wouldn't believe it. I mean, they were making patterns in the sky and everything, like some kind of. And this triangular outline just stayed there for, it was over 5 minutes. It stayed there. So we don't know what these things are, but they're something. So you can see there's and there's a colour as well. It's like a bluish colour there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I do believe that there's something's trying to tell us here, something here, you know. Because if you notice, what I was doing when I was taking these pictures was recording the sky. People call them the sky bastards. Recording the chemtrailers, but you couldn't see them, blocking out the sky and hiding truth, hiding a reality. They're basically hiding truth. Right, so that's not cool whatsoever. Okay? So while the humans are busy hiding all the truth, there's a triangular object sitting right there. And there's one sitting right there as well, and it's provided 3 puffs of whatever that is there. There's one there. And by the way, right, so these triangular formations have appeared. It's basically over the light source. There's a planet here being obscured by the thick clouds that they put up, and there's a triangular object sitting there. Like, oh, look at this, and it's happening over the false sun, the fake sun, and it's happening over the moon as well. So maybe they're trying to tell us something. There's a full screen image of that other one. Let me just go back here. There's the original of the diamond over the moon. It's not actually the original, it's cropped because you can see the side of the house here. But you don't see that every day. But I do. I see this a lot. There's other people that have documented similar things as well. So there is, and I'll bring them up later. Here's a good one. This is, have we got the original right next to it? See, there's the other original. This was a zoomed in view of the moon, with some clouds in front of it. You know, where you got the colourful clouds in front of the moon these days because they're full of chemicals. But you can see a triangular outline right over the moon here. This is a really profound symbol, and it's been directed towards myself. If it was directed to anybody else, I think it would be out of sync, but it's perfectly aligned. Well, it's not perfect because it's a bit of the distance here compared to that side, but it's basically aimed towards myself, showing me signs. And if you're seeing these in the sky and they're aligned to you, guess what? They're being aligned and directed towards you. So obviously they are. Here's a modified, adjusted image of one of the stills from that, what would you call it, a collage? Anyway, right, so I've adjusted the colours in this one just to bring out the colours a little bit, and you can clearly see, okay, you can clearly see that that light doesn't come from nowhere, you know, that just does not just spontaneously appear in your image. There's a sun behind the clouds there. Do you know what time this was taken? 5 to 12 on December the 25th. So that was Christmas Day. I was out recording the sky, and it's clearly yellow, and it's clearly a light source. There's no denying it whatsoever. I mean, I used to see images like this and think that it was fake, that it was just too unbelievable. It's too, the magnitude was like, I don't know why, but I didn't believe this for a long time, and I've seen people have documented this for years and years, and I never believed it myself. But see when you see it, see when you capture an image and you see it for yourself, there's no doubt about it that there is multiple suns and planets being hidden in the sky. But do you know what? They're still searching for the planets, and they're still searching for other things as well. But there's bloody planets right here in a local system that are not being shown to the public. They're being hidden. And why are they being hidden? You've got to wonder why all these planets and all these intruders and interlopers into the system are being hidden. Yeah, I tell you why, because it will rip open the lie that we're being told. really just think about the implications of why they would hide these things, okay? And why not hide Saturn? Why not hide Jupiter? Why not hide Venus? Why have they got to hide these particular planets? You know, you think about that, you come to some conclusions that are pretty profound. And if you go back, you can see there's another triangular outline, right? And if you notice, see these images that I took here, there was multiple triangular outlines in the clouds at different locations and different angles, but sorry, at multiple angles, but at the same location. And you can see it's kind of centered there, so it was sitting there, whatever that was. Because I mean, see these trees here. See the other image, there was like a thicker tree. Sorry, I'll go back to it. Right, see it here, there's a thicker tree here. Right, because that's slightly to the right of where the other image was taken. You can see it's sitting there. Slightly to, so this is slightly to the left of where the other image was taken. The thick tree is just over here. And my file is over here. And you can see that the thing, next image. Oh, hold on. The thing is just sitting where I'm situated. You can see it sitting here. Look, this is a different image, but it's captured this thing in the same position from a different angle. And so this, again, I mean, see the other video I took of the chemtrails, it's chemtrail in the sky, and there's a triangular outline just sitting there. Have you seen that? It's kind of similar, right? So they're chemtrail in the sky, they're trying to hide something in the sky, right? And you've got, just like they're doing in that other image that we're looking at, but there's a triangular outline just sitting in the sky, watching what's going on, making itself visible. Because these things, they know when they leave any kind of visible trails of their presence, they make themselves known. But they can disappear if they want to. They can vanish in a second. And I mean, there it is there. Okay, so you can see the what can we call them? The sky bastards, right? They're fucking covering the sky with these chemicals and blocking out the truth. Really, they're blocking out the truth, right? They shouldn't be doing that. I'm telling you right now, they should not be blocking out the truth in the sky. It's out of order. Okay, it's out of order. That's the truth you're hiding. You're hiding something. It's not right. And these things are just sitting here again, right? So the fuckers are busy painting the skies with a veil of clouds so we can't see what they're trying to hide, right? And you've got one of these things just sitting here, and they've recorded it as well, and they made themselves known. They've made themselves known multiple times. And then this other night, when I'm recording all these images and putting them together into a collage to show the movement of the clouds, to form a veil over the horizon. But you can see here, this is the last image. You can see the whole sky is covered now with clouds. And you can, well, look what it's trying to cover. It's trying to cover the truth. And you can see these things, they're sitting here again, watching over what's going on. Right, are they supervising? No, they're not supervising. So here's another one. This is another 108 megapixel image, but you wouldn't notice because it's low light and it's grainy. But it's picked up the triangular outline. Really, 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 I mean, look at this. This is insane. Look how straight these lines are. Right? This is this is another image at a different angle, and you can see this thing is sitting there, And there's also, I don't know what these shadows are here, these big shadows. When it's a low light 108 megapixel image, there's a few artifacts. It's a bit grainy, but let me this is not an artifact. That's not an artifact. There's something sitting there, watching them hide the truth. Again, I thought I seen something up here in this image. Can you see something? There's a huge triangular thing here. I don't know what that is, but it should be here. Don't know if it moved forward for that image, I don't know. But you can see this image, wow. Look at this one. This is a different one. You can clearly see there's something glowing in the clouds there. I posted this on my Twitter and it got a few retweets. It's a really startling image. I think people need to share this. People, a lot of things I post on Twitter just get shadow banned. They shadow ban that, right? See the shit they allow on Twitter. They fucking allow porn on Twitter. They'll share porn on Twitter, but they won't allow this on Twitter. They'll censor that. So that's why I appreciate any retweets I get, because people need to see this. This is the truth. They're trying to hide the truth. Fuck them. Let's go back here. Here's another couple of right angles outside my window. And again, right outside my window. And it's centered directly outside my window. When I was staying in that hostel. You know, when I stayed in that hostel, a lot of interesting things happened. So I've got new thoughts on this as well. So we've got a hazy, cloudy sky, right? And we've got a gap. And we can, I mean, if you know how they're moving these clouds, they're moving them through frequency. They're moving them through frequency, through sound. That's why you see a lot of ripples in the cloud recently. Okay, that's weather modification. That's frequencies being pulsed and sending and moving cloud and veils and covers screens, moving screens wherever they want them to. Okay, but see this one, obviously you can see there's this cloud that's getting pushed and it's getting moved, right? And you can see that it's overlapping here. Can you see that it's overlapping? Right? I think it's picking it up on the camera. It's overlapping on each side to create a triangle, and it's not exactly smooth, right? But what I think is going on here is there's two converging frequencies, two converging, it's not fronts. I don't think it's natural, to be honest with you. It's just two converging, moving cloud screens. You know how frequencies pushing these clouds, masses of clouds, or whatever they need to be. They can move veils and screens of cloud wherever they want them. Okay, so all this cloud here is getting pushed that way, right? And all this cloud here is getting pushed that way, and you can see them. You can see how they've converged here, right outside my window. And for some reason, right, so you've got two moving clouds, and they're converging right there, right outside my window in the hostel. Now remember the other image that I showed about the freaking dark triangle in the soil? Hold on. No, you don't want to know that is. No, you don't want to see that. Right, see this? Wait, no, this was the gardener, let me tell you as well. They put a crop circle. Right, let's just get that up. They put a fucking crop circle across from here as well. So this was taken outside the window. This is basically, this Ben Lomond is behind here. There's a mountain here. You see the images I took of the things that were manifesting in the clouds? It's the same position. And right underneath this window is this. Right? And the building that I'm staying in here at the time when I took these images, is called the Blue Triangle. Right? So the gardener, I spoke to the gardener that day. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting shape. Soil pattern you've got there. And I was asking him what kind of plants that he put in, because he's got specific plants. I can't remember. It's just having a laugh with him, you know. He's like, that's some shape. He's like, I know. So he basically, somebody told him to do that. I mean, look at that. Why would you put that underneath my window? What? Who makes garden? Who's a gardener out there? Who makes triangular shaped indentations in the soil like that? I've never seen anything like it in my life. And also, below, across the street from here, there's a crop circle that the gardener made, because there was a lot of things going on at this time. So there was a crop circle crossing the bit of grass there, and then they've got this as well. And you can see the garden here is here. There's a crop circle down here. Right, and so this thing stayed here for a couple of minutes, to be honest with you. Let's just go back. 9:18. 9:18. 9:17. 9:18. This is over the space of a minute, but I think it stayed there for quite some time. So you can see converging triangular shape in the clouds directed towards me. Here's other ones as well. This is taken last year, June the 11th, 2020. 3 diamond triangular shaped formations converging over the Loch Lomond. And there's a lot of right angles going on here, by the way. And so, I mean, see all these things that are sitting in the clouds and that I've captured? It could be a conglomeration of them, right? It could be 3 motherships and other cloaked objects, because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It was really windy that day. And believe me, I have thought of other normal, natural ways for this to form, converging wind currents out in the middle of the loch there, because I've been out in there, and there's strange things happen out there, as in different directions of flowing, the different directions of waves. It's just they're not natural. I know that, because these things are just turning up everywhere. And there's more. I think that's the last one. And what have we got next? Let's go back. I've got some new eyes in the clouds. You want to see these? I've enhanced my images that I've taken. This is a new image I took. Let me see. Let me show you the original. This is just too good to be true, isn't it? I wouldn't. I mean, I get I get the feeling that people don't believe this. They think it's fake, because it's just look at it. Look at that. What? Let me tell you, this is an actual image, an enhanced image, mind you. Let me show you the original. I was singing. I went down for a walk and I was singing, "Oh Misty Mountain." not I don't know all the lyrics. I was just singing Misty Mountain, and I seen it forming because I know when it's going to form. So I got my camera out because they only lasts for a half a second and it's gone. I've captured these too many times and I know when they're going to form. So maybe I'll try and get one on video and actually see it forming. See if you go to the originals, not that one, right? Here's the original, right? I'll show you the original and the enhanced, because you can see the difference, you see the contrast that I brought out. So on the right you've got the original, on the left you've got the enhanced, and there's two of these because I've got it. Right, you've got them cropped, but there's two of them. You see, one of them looks sleepy, right? Look, watch, it looks like it's sleepy here, and then it goes, bing, like it was wide awake. It's a wide awake eye. See that one? It's kind of like as if it's just opened, like it's just opened its eye, right? And then you can see they're different. Both of them are different. And that one's wide, fully formed. Right, so in this one it's just starting to form. Right? And then, boom! I see you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you as well, mate. So, right? Now, who believes this? Who believes this? Let me tell you should believe, because it's real. It's quite astonishing that I've managed to capture again another eye over the mountain, over Ben Lomond. You know Ben Lomond. I've done a little bit of research on it. It's apparently Lomond means beacon, so it's called Beacon Mountain. But there's something shown there. I don't say too much about it. So I just wanted to show you the original. You can see the original, it's really faint. It's insane. How insane is that? And I brought it out by increasing the contrast and adding a high pass filter. I brought it out. You can see the clouds are all like really contrasty. I mean, the size of it is massive, and it's really fully formed. You can see I mean, how many of these have I taken? Quite a few, and the chances of them capturing an eye over a mountain, directly over the summit, mind you, it's directly over the summit. Can you see that? It's aligned, okay? The chances of catching that once is quite low. The odds, the probability of that. But see, the probability of capturing this multiple times over the same mountain, like this one, you can see here, it's up there, and it's directly over the summit. I've got an enhanced versions of these, and it should really use OBS, but the camera is picking it up actually really well. So I've enhanced this one. You notice this one's over the mountain as well. Right? I mean, I'm struggling to believe it myself sometimes, but I'm just having to accept. Your mind cannot accept these kind of things. I've got other ones as well, man. The chances of just capturing an eye over the mountain just one time is really extraordinary, but having multiple of them is just something else. Let me tell you, these are not fake. See if these were fake. I see all the photo experts on the internet, they would have picked them apart in a second, but they've not. Do you know why? Because they're real. Right, so I've enhanced this one, and I've kind of got an idea of what's going on here, and it's quite spectacular, by the way. It's quite amazing. What's going on here is I'm manifesting these things through what I was doing at the time. And what I was doing was, I was in an incredibly focused state of mind. I was meditating, but there was something going on. It's like my engine was turning. I was going to explain. I mean, I was really present at the time. I know exactly what was going on, but I can't tell you. But it's got something to do with oh man, like something was moving. I don't know if though I've been thinking about it lately. It could have been a macabre. Macabre, is that how you say it? Because there was really something spinning in front of me, coming from my heart, and it was in front of me, and it was spinning, and it was working away like some kind of engine. And while all that was happening, things were manifesting in the clouds, because the sheer power and the fierceness of my consciousness made this appear in the clouds. Telling you, what I've found out is that at the time that this happened, I was working on something with the CryEngine. Let me show you this. It was a jet engine rig. Wait, I've just seen this today. Hold on, let me just go. Right, let me just see the date on these. So that was September the 20th, right? That was, what was that? Let me go to the original. I've just figured this out today. I've just had an epitome. Would you call it a really? Aye. Hold on. Let me just go and get something here. What am I looking for? Aye, the original. The date, August the 29th, right? August the 29th. So that was September. Hold on. I've just been looking at these before I started the video, and I worked something out. See, that's a cropped one. But basically, see the see, when I took this image and all these things were manifesting in the clouds, it was a few days after that I had finished this engine test rig, which I had been working on. Let me show you the image. This one, right? See this? This perfectly illustrates what was going on, and it was made a week before all this happened. But by the way, I've got another image of this that I found, the nobody's seen. This is another image that I found in an enhanced of the eye over the sky. And by the way, see this? See the full image of this? There's a crop circle in the grass. There's a crop circle in the grass below here, right? So you've got what? So you've got triangular outlines appearing in the clouds, because that's what it was. It was about here, that triangular outline. You've got triangular outlines appearing in the clouds, right? You've got crop circles on the grass just outside the building. You've got triangular outlines in the soil made by the gardener, and he done the crop circle as well, whoever told him to do that. right? And then you've got things happening in the sky. You've got things manifesting in the sky when I'm meditating and a really highly focused my consciousness was incredibly powerful that day. Right? No, I've just figured this out today, that this image here is actually depicting what's going on. Okay? And it just came to me today. So let me tell you, when I first made this, like, this is all handmade, right? This is all modelled by me, by my hand built, lighting, everything, textures, everything. I built it, I made it, right? Totally. Now when I first, let me just show you the first image that I made this, right? Because it was quite a while back. When I first decided to make this, it was when I had just moved away from Newcastle and I came back. I was staying at my mum's. I decided to make something, right? And I started to get into it. Basically, I was, believe it or not, I was basically expressing exactly what was inside. It's really hard to explain, but basically when I built this engine, I was basically depicting what I was feeling. Okay. And little did I know that it ended up like showing, imitating life, right? So it's like art imitating life. And I can remember when I sat down on the chair in my mum's house and started making this, and I had something in my chest, and I was putting what I felt in my chest. This is basically me explaining it black and white. I was putting what was in my chest onto the screen, and it was an engine, right? And then I built on it. And right, these things spin. I've not got a movie of it, but I could open it up and show you. If I can be bothered. These things spin. You know, they glow. There's a flow graph. You've got the propellers. Right, but basically it ended up becoming prophetic. Right, so let's just go further along in its development. Right, here we go. See, these change. These change are also very significant. And I remember looking at this. I've studied this because of you. These changes are really significant. It's like the chains are holding it down, you know, so it can't move. It's yeah, it's interesting. Right, then I remember, see, when I was building this as well, I was watching all the Trump rallies. And I remember watching a Trump rally when I was building this as well. It was around about that time. Right, so see this image here. This is it could be applicable to everything that happened. Okay, so you've got the spinning engine, and this thing here. This is GPU particles. They're all spinning and turning and churning and like interacting and stuff. You can't see it, obviously, because it's a still image. But I've just had a thought that this whole image is actually depicting what's going on inside my ship. I don't know. So you've got what I had a feeling with this. I had a feeling that was all the churning, passionate soul fire here. And then you've got the engine, which is obviously a device which has got something to do with the appearance of this ship. Right, I mean, if you look at the image, right, the whole image, I mean, I could open the level and there's a lot of things in it that are quite strange. There's a spinning cube as well. under the ground here. There's a glass pyramid, but you can't see it. If you look at this image, right, it looks as if, right, I'll tell you what happened, right? What it depicts, right? These are Birkeland currents, obviously, because they're all spinning in different directions. Okay? You've got a river it's flowing. Which way is it flowing? It's flowing outwards. There's a river here, and it's all reflective. And by the way, see these light things here. These lights. These are. I don't know what happened to the volumetric light, but these lights are on, and they are projecting light towards this. The significant. What else? I mean, it speaks for itself, really, but I really feel as if it's related to what happened here. See how these things manifested in the clouds from me. I made that happen. This thing that manifested, it was like a UFO enveloped in cloud, and it opened a portal or an embro. What do you call that? Right, and it was basically happening because of my engine was working away. It was all powered up and it was all spinning. So I basically think that it was my Merkaba was spinning. It was churning, and it was churning up time and space, and things were manifesting off to the side of me, out of the window. And do you know what? This wasn't the first thing that started to manifest. I'll tell you. Do you know what? It's important to know the sequence of events here. I mean, isn't it right? But see, the first thing that they showed up was the serpentine cloud. See this? That's the original. That's the first thing that showed up, right? The first thing that showed up was that one. And I don't know how I noticed these things, because I wasn't looking out the window. I wasn't sitting looking out the window. I was watching the television, but I wasn't watching the television. My Merkaba was spinning, and it was in an altered state, so I wasn't actually paying attention to the sky at all. But part of me must have been, because I just turned and I seen this, and it was all happening while my machine was churning something. See, if I could try and describe what was happening, it was something was spinning in front of me, and it was spinning that way, like spinning like that, out from my heart, out in front of me, out of my chest, like all around me. It's all spinning. And I remember saying at the time, and the surveillance networks could back me up on this, because I'm under surveillance 24/7. We're all under surveillance, and they would have heard what I was saying. And what I was saying was, I could feel something spinning, and something's working inside of me. Something is working away. That's what I was saying. And I remember the way I felt and what was happening that day. This way I'm able to go back and recall specific things. But see, today today I had a revelation of this. Basically, I have been like processing this for a long time. And I think my subconscious is working away on it as well, trying to figure it out. And today I've just had a realization that I was working. This is my art. This is my heart and my soul. By the way, I put everything into this. And it was at the time when I was living in a hostel. My life was turned upside down. So I put like everything I was feeling basically into my art. That's what I always do. And let me tell you, there's a story about this ship. It's been in my, I've used it in my artworks for a while. I built it a while ago as well, and it's been in a few images. It's been in a few images, right? And you know, my art is prophetic. My art is, there's something really prophetic about my art, right? I've realised that recently, so I take it seriously. As in, the things that are depicted in it are applicable to real life in some form. So this ship, I have got hundreds of screenshots and artworks that I've made over time. This ship I've used in a lot of artwork and photographs over the years, so I have. And let me tell you, a lot of the time it has been travelling to the centre of things, or around the centre of things. See it here? This is that's from 2015. See, I've been making art for a long time. This is from 2015. Here you can see that ship from the back. Can you see it? It's the same ship. And it was always in environments that had a core or a galaxy, and it was always flying either towards it or away from it, right? And that's a clue to what it is. And right, let me tell you, there's another thing I'll tell you regarding this ship and where it was placed, another level where it was placed, which is in, if we could, it was in the lumberyard, when I was using lumberyard for a while. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Right, so I put it in here as well. And let me tell you, this level, what this represented was basically the same thing. This is 2016. So this level here was a home cinema. It's basically a modern interior environment. It's built by hand, by the hand. Okay, all the textures, everything's built by hand. It's all 3D modelled by me. And what it is, there's actually another level made later on that this is in. This is a space that's been created from another space. So basically it's the same kind of, it's something that, I don't know, at the time, I wasn't really aware at the time. This is back in 2016. I was making a lot of art, but I wasn't as aware as I am right now. So it's basically, if you're an artist, you'll know what I'm trying to say here, and basically why people make art and why, basically putting what you feel out into something else. So basically this is it's a room, it's a home cinema, and what does a home cinema represent, right? Now, if you go along that direction and look at the walls are covered in carpet, it's really comfortable. The chairs are comfortable, it's modern. You know, you would want to spend a lot of time in there, wouldn't you? So, and right, so that ship is sitting on the table, on a stand. See that? It's on a stand, like a model. And I actually had an idea for this level, which was to make this ship fly around the room with like a lot of camera effects, like depth of field and depth of view. Basically, I think I put that ship in a level with a galaxy, and it's always It's always in levels with galaxies and cores, and it was in that level of the home cinema, which is also something close to my heart. And if you figure it all out, then you realise that there's some specific meaning being displayed here, and there's a specific reason why I put that ship there. And if you look at these things here, see those rings? Those rings spin, and they spin in alternate directions. Okay, do you know what that is? It's well, if you don't know, it's like Birkeland currents. So I was studying Birkeland currents at the time, and I don't know if it's subconscious or consciously, I've consciously put it into my level. But not for any random reason. No, because this is some kind of bridge. It's some kind of bridge, right? Hold on. And I'll tell you, there's other things that I wanted to put in here that I never did, and one thing was a tree. Every time I thought I put a tree in this level, it freaking crashed. So I never got around to that. But there was also clouds, I wanted to put clouds in. But see this guy, I wanted to replace that guy as a tree. Anyway, I'm going to open this level and show you. I look for my file. What is it? Need my... I just need to get a few C-vals. I need to turn texture streaming off. Just for start. Hold on. Right. I've done motion blur off because I can't stand that. It should be disabled by default. Motion blur off. Right. So this is set up in a flow graph. You can't see the other screen. There's a flow graph, and it depicts, it dictates what's going on. Which one is it? Wait, it's this. You've got the jet flame. It's on a delay, right? So I'll just start it and I'll show you what's going on here. Right, see. Right, this is spinning. You can see the thing is just starting to spin. It's not. See, it's nothing special with the animations. It's just basic spin. See, there's something going on down there as well. I'll show you that. Right, so, right, see here. So you can see these are spinning alternate directions. Alternate, right? You know, it's Birkeland currents. That's what it's depicting, right? If you've not figured that out, right, I'll just give you a hand. Right, see this? That as well. That's a transparent tube, and there's something else like strange there. Because I ended up seeing one of these tubes in the sky. You wouldn't fucking believe it. I ended up seeing that in the sky. Right, now, see this? Right, there's a number of things that I just want to get across here. Let it load in. Right, and the first one is the fact that this is some. Right, here we go. Right, because there's a lot of things in this. I wanted to show you one thing first. Right, see this? Now this is all unintentional, and let me tell you what it looks like. Let me just load in this. See in front of this, all this stuff that's happening here, there's a screen. And let me just show you what it is. If we go to, look at that. Right, now, let me tell you what that is. It's a piece of glass. It's a piece of glass in between this section of the map and this section of the map. There's a barrier, right? You can't see it, right? I'd need to drag it out for you to see it. It's an invisible barrier. Can you see that? Right, now this was put in This was put into here well before I started putting in anything else significant. Well before I put in the ship. But basically, after right, it's hard to explain, but basically it's unintentional, right? It's basically what it looks like is a portal. It looks like a portal. Right, let it load in. Right, let's start it again. Right, so take this designer, switch it back to default material. Look, it looks like a freaking portal. Look at that. This is all unintentional. I remember seeing this and I was like, what? How? What? It looks like a Stargate, right? It's just really, really strange the way it looks. Right? So never mind that. No, everything, what I've learned is that nothing that I'm making or creating is by chance, or it's got no meaning. Everything that we do has got some specific meaning. Right, so basically you've got a river. You've got another river here. You've got a river. See how it's flowing inwards, right? I mean, that's not like random either. Why would I put a river? Look, why the fuck would I put a river there like that? Right, I'll tell you why. Because this is it's supposed to represent your consciousness. I know why I done these things. Was this, by the way, that spinning cube has been in here, in this level, since actually I think I made it back when I was living in the hostel. You know, it's a bit strange. You know, it's just a spinning cube. It does represent something, but you've got to figure that out. But it's strange, you know, there's UFO sightings recently of the US military have released the UFO sightings of a cube inside a transparent sphere. You know what I mean? It could be related. There's things out there that look like this and flying around and we don't know what they are. But anyway, that's not what this is. This is representing something. It represents the Matrix, right? I'll just tell you that. This was hidden. I put this all the way back here, out of the way. Right? If we go through here, what's that? No, never mind. Okay, so let's carry on analysing this, decoding this. So you've got this ship. What I've also done, wow, it's a flower of life, right? The flower of life. Can you see that? What else? No, this. I don't go too far back because it. I'm just going to say it how it is, right? Because not to say that this is. It's a bit strange, to be honest with you. Right, that's Saturn there. It says Jupiter, but it's just because of the thing's named from something I was using for a different level. That's basically Saturn, right? It's not set up with any kind of visual resemblance of Saturn. It's just basically a sphere, because you can't really see much from down here. It's basically just supposed to be a big sphere. If we could turn the bloom down, you'd be able to see past it. Okay, now if you see these tendrils here, that's obviously Venus. Okay, now I don't know, I was studying about these things at the time. So basically that's Saturn, Venus. You've got these, this is representing travel, or I mean these see those fast moving stars, it's representing some kind of travel. You've got the Birkeland currents, I mean, so can you see what's going on here? Because I've just seen it. I've just seen it. This is a depiction of what's actually going on. You've got the you've got a crystal pyramid here as well. And then there's one more thing, which is these things. But I actually need to delete them, right? You know when there was 3 unintended shadows turned up in one of my levels. I decided to put them intentionally in this level for some reason. What it is let me just move on from this. I don't know why I've done this. I'm going to delete it anyway. I don't know what I was doing. Right, basically, see that? Why is that there? Because I don't know. I don't know what this is and why. And I tell you what I've done. I've made it transparent, and so that it casts a shadow. Okay, so you go back to the shadow. Look, it's transparent. It's invisible, but it's casting the shadow. Right? I don't know what that means. What it means, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to keep it in there because it's part of the whole thing, right? So, a new update. Is it a new update's ready? Or is it fixed it? Has it fixed all the bugs? Right. Let's go through some of these because I've enhanced some of these here. Right. So these are enhanced. So they are. You've never seen them unless you've looked at my Twitter. You've never seen these with such clarity. Now, if you look at this, see how the tip of this, it could be the front of it. It's do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a Tic Tac shape, and it's pretty. It's got a lot of geometry. I mean, see for a cloud, this has got a lot of features. Right, let me show you this Twitter post here. I mean, I'm not there speculating on what this is, but I know that it came from me, and that I manifested it. I know that for a fact. I know that is true. But what I was trying to, because I remembered something about, see this shape? It's like a Vesica Pisces. This shape here is like whoop. Look how defined that is. It's a really defined shape, and it's starting to fade away as well in this image. Do you know what? It's a miracle that I caught these, because these only lasted for about a second and they were gone. And I was busy. I was working away, man. I was working. I wasn't even looking out the window. I don't even know how I managed to take an image of these things, but something caught my attention and it made me take an image of them. But you can see but it's called a mandorla. It's an almond-shaped aureola frame that surrounds the totality of an iconic figure. It is usually synonymous with vesica, lens shape. Mandolas often surround the figures of Jesus Christ. Not to say that this is the man, but there's like a portal shape in the clouds, but that's not a portal shape, it's called mandola. If you look up a mandola, you see some images like this. Look how this deity, how do you say deity, is surrounded by this Vesica Pisces, like a womb, lens, mandola shape. This is a mandola, right? And it's that. See what they're talking about there, right? It's that. That's that. And there's a figure. There's a figure there. It looks as if he's got. See, to me, he looks as if he's got a robe on. We'll come to that in a second. You see that stuff, that triangular thing there. See here, right? It looks as if he's face on. So he's got like a robe, right? On each side, you can see like an appendage here, like an arm or an elbow. You can see there's something going on here, and you can see there's a head space there. It's situated directly over the summit, so it's aligned directly over the summit. It's in a peculiar shaped cloud. I've outlined this in red on another image, and you can clearly see that it's got geometry. And basically, I'm telling you right now, what I think this is a Tic Tac enveloped in cloud, or it was, and how it appeared, it just like phased into this reality, phased in through the clouds, created a symbol, or it was some kind of ship that phased in and then phased away like that, because that's what they could do. And then this is the new image. You can see it's heavily contrasted, and it's to bring out the detail. And you can see that this image was taken like seconds after, and it just goes to show how long this lasted. It lasted for a second, and the fact that I turned my head and caught it and captured it in camera is a miracle on its own. But you can basically see that it's starting to fade away, right? So it just appears, and maybe that remember the eye that I showed earlier on about how when the eye first formed, it wasn't fully formed, and then on the second image it was like a fully formed eye. So it forms out of nothing, and then it appears fully formed, boom, it starts shining, and then it just disappears. So yeah, I think this is one of the most compelling images ever captured. But you know what? I'm getting censored and shadow banned. But I'm having to still work to discover what this is. I mean, how could you not? Imagine just locking it away in a cupboard and like forgetting about it. Oh, I took an image one day, you know, I don't know what it is. I've not been able to figure it out. But no, I've figured it out. I know what it is. That was manifested from me. That's hard to believe, but it's true, man. I was manifesting that, and all these things were happening off to the side of me, in the clouds above that mountain, above this Ben Lomond, the Beacon Mountain. And look where I was. Look where I was situated, at the best seat in the house, up the top floor, the blue triangle, and it's directly. I thought it looks like an eye, no, it doesn't. And it's directly in front of the mountain, and it's just really aligned. I mean, how aligned is that? This is an image taken from the window. You know, there's a crop circle down here on the grass. There's a triangular dark outline in the soil. There's other triangular formations that I've taken pictures of appearing over this mountain. I've actually taken a picture of a meteor here as well. So there's a lot of things, and it's really aligned. It's aligned over the top of the mountain. Right, so let's move on. Right, this was taken, let me take a breath. December the 17th, last year, 2021, at 1:45 in the morning. This was, remember the other image of the kind of whitish clouds with the triangular outline? This was that night. So here we've got the moon, which is, it seems to appear blue for some, is that normal? There's a lot of blue coming from the moon, by the way. I don't know if that's normal. I thought the moonlight was white. Right, and again, this is appearing, this triangle, it's a symbol, right? Look how defined it is, right? There's no getting past it's been formed there by some type of technology, but I get the feeling that it's trying to tell us something. I mean, these things are appearing, where are they appearing? They're appearing when they're chemtrail in the skies, they're appearing when they're creating wall clouds over the sky to cover something, and now look at what this one is appearing over the moon. So I really feel as if they're trying to tell us something here, right? Now this is, the saturation is being increased slightly to show the coloration of the moon, but how the heck this thing is directed? Did you see the other one I took of the other lunar triangle? Right, I've got a few of these. If anybody wants to try and debunk these, anything, look at this. Are you crazy? Look at this. Can you see this? Hopefully you can see that. Can you see that? Can you see the defined outline here? Can you see the straight lines in the freaking clouds? Look, can you see this right angle here? Can you see on the other side as well? You can barely see it. You actually can, you can see it. Look at it. Right? You can see it all the way here. And the moon, and by the way, the moon in this shot is white. It's white. But it's got a bluish colour to it. But see this moon looks blue. So I think there's something going on there. You know, they've got a sun simulator, so they've probably got a moon simulator to do the same thing as well. They're using the moon simulator to hide a smaller body which is appearing in the sky at the night time. So they use the moon simulator to hide that, and it could be a bluish object. Could be the thing that was directly over my tent one time. So that's a pretty remarkable image, that. And again, nobody's picked these images up for some reason. You know, all these channels that are supposedly spreading truth. You know, like Mr. B33. I've sent my images to that guy and I didn't get any response. Right? These are too real. Nobody's picked my images up at all. Right? So something's going on there as well. They've been shared a few times on Twitter and all that, which is good. But nobody's picked them up and put them in their videos, right? So I'm telling you, there's a lot of fakery going on. These are a bunch of fakes, right? Let me tell you, you want to take pictures of artifacts and think they're and balloons and think they're fucking UFOs. No, these are showing fake things. And anytime something real comes across, you ignore it. You ignore it. That's what I found, anyway. Right, so this is in here. This is another enhanced image of the other. I should put all these together. How many of these have I got? How many times have I captured an eye over this mountain? Should we count? Should we have a look? Right, let's have a look. There's another one. That looks like a Big Brother eye, doesn't it? That was when I was coming back to shore on my boat. This is, yeah, watching me. See that over the whole town? Look at that. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Do 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 do. Right, so there's one. By the way, that's not over the mountain. I've got two eyes that I've captured, but I'm not over the mountain. Right, so there's one, two, but see this, I don't know if that would be an eye. Would that be classed as an eye? But it's definitely a feature. let me just count these, right? Right, over the mountain, right? 1. That's the other one. 2. 3. That's the original image. The original image. See this? That's the original. And look what's here. Crop circle. Can you see this? Crop circle. See that? There's a crop circle outside my window. Oh, and look at this. Oh, there's a big eye in the sky. What is it? By the way, I don't know how I captured this either. These were all captured when I was like in a highly meditative, powerful state. Look at that. See that? Crop circle. Right, so there's quite a few of them. What was that other one as well? The new one that I've just taken. Aye, this one. Right, so what's that? Is that 4 over 4 very clear, definitive eyes over this mountain? 4 directly over the summit, aligned. Right? That's not chance. It's not random. It's a force that's causing it. Right? It's not random. And look at it, look, they're all over the summit. Alignments. There's a triangular shaped cloud over the mountain there. Okay, so we're nearly done talking about these. I've got some videos that I put together, screen recordings of the sun and the moon, and I'm going to show you how the sun is not millions of miles away, it's closer, and I've got definitive evidence. All you need to do is point a camera at the sun and point a camera at the moon, and you'll see that there's some discrepancies in the size and the framing of them. Because guess what? One of them is not outside of the Earth's orbit. It's not inspectable, it's in low Earth orbit. The sun is fake. The sun is not millions of miles away. It's called a synlight. It's called a synlight, and it's got a hexagonal arrangement of powerful LED lights. And people have seen it for a long time. They've been documenting it for a long time, but nobody has taken it seriously. But see, when you film it, see when you capture it yourself, then you start to take it seriously. Okay, so this is basically a lens array that they put in the sky in low Earth orbit. It's one of these things. Look at the size of it. It's huge. They're very powerful lamps. So basically, this has been in the sky. This sun has been there for the past 20 years. They've had the patent for over 20 years, or 30 years. Could be back in the 70s. So they've been using this simulator to cover the truth. Yeah, they've been using this lens array to cover up the truth. And it's got a hexagonal feature. And you seen the image that I took that night that shows a hexagonal dark shape in the clouds? It's this. This is it's a lens it's been turned off. it's a lens array. It's obviously been turned off and somebody captured it in the sky. And by the way, I've seen the video, right? And the guy was just taking a video of the sky just for random reasons, and he's looked back. He reviewed his footage later. He's looked back at it and he's found that it contains a giant hexagonal lens array just sitting in the sky. Right? And let me tell you, this, see the big huge white blinding sun that they've got blinding out there? That's this. See the sun? Our sun is going through some kind of change. It's either becoming dimmer. Well, never mind about that actually, right? Right, see if you've got the sun, it's the real sun, it's at the centre of the solar system, okay? It's outside of the Earth's orbit. Now we've got planets that are passing in between the Earth and the sun. Okay, now when that happens, the sunlight dims. And what they've done is when this occurs, and there's some kind of eclipse. So there's these covert, hidden eclipses that are going on. And so each time a planet passes in between the sun and the Earth, they switch on the sun simulator, right? And the sky starts to dim, the sun starts to dim, and they switch on the sun simulator to glare out. So if you can imagine, imagine that's the sun, right? Right, you've got the sun and the Earth. That's in front of that, if you can see. You've got the Earth here. That's the sun, right? The real sun. Could we use for the sun simulator? We could use this. Right, so there's the real sun, okay? Like, you know, it comes over, like, wow. Sunrise. Well, hey. Sunset. Right? So then, now, oh, we need another thing for the planets, for the other planets. Right? So now there's, usually it just rises and sets, and, you know, that's, you could say that's the Earth, and then it just goes, wee. Hold on, it's something else here. Now what if there's something, obviously you can't say it this way, I've only got two hands, right, so that's the sun and the Earth, right? Now, what if there's another planet or another sun that's coming in between the sun and the Earth, okay? And guess what happens when that happens? Now, this is what would happen if there wasn't a sun simulator. If there wasn't a sun simulator taking over the light, see as it goes across, this hidden Niburu or Planet X is slowly creeping, and it's spinning really fast as well. It's slowly creeping in between the Earth and the sun. It's going to dim the light from the sun, and so they use the sun simulator. They use the sun simulator to it tracks the planet, right? The planet X, Niburu, whatever it is, right? So it tracks it, and so basically when it goes in front of the sun and dims the light, the sun simulator takes over, and the glare increases and it starts getting bigger. And so all you see is a big, huge, glaring, blinding white light until, hold on, oh shit, I dropped the sun, until it's gone, until the planet's away, and then the sun simulator goes as well. Like, hopefully I explained that properly. So it's real, it's happening. Believe it. If you don't believe it, then you're in the dark, and you're living in a false reality as well. If you don't believe this, it's only some people have got the capacity to believe this kind of thing anyway. We're living in on a stage. The whole world is a stage. And see, when they try and hide truth and call you a liar, that's when you've got to do something. I've not been called a liar though. I've just been censored and shadow banned, and I'm effing sick of it. Fucking sick of it, man. You see, they let porn on Twitter. I bet they don't shadow dirty porn, but they'll shadow ban this kind of thing, won't they? Because right, what I've done here basically is recorded a few videos of a few screen recordings. If you've noticed, the screen recordings are picking up the light better when you're, because the cameras, the low light doesn't work properly on cameras for a reason, because they want you not to be able to see these things, and so they're delaying the development of low light enhancements in cameras. So you see, when you use your screen recorder, if you use a screen recorder, you can usually pick up better low light images. So these are the type of things we're having to do, because they're debilitating the technology right now that we've got in our pockets. It's amazing that they've actually allowed people to walk around with these powerful devices in their pockets. Right, see, you can see I've zoomed into 9 times there. You can see the filter activating. When it gets past 10 times the zoom, can you pause? Can you pause this? Hold on. Let me just click this. Right, so it gets to, you can see the massive glare. Right, by the way, see, when I'm recording this, I can't freaking see, I'm blinded, my eyes are watering. I'm in pain. I'm in pain recording this video. Look at this. My eyes are bleeding. I'm telling you, because it's that bright. My eyes were burning, like the tears flowing from my eyes. I wasn't upset. It was because of the sun simulator. And it's bulbs, and it's LED bulbs. See this white light coming from this freaking fake sun? It's LED bulbs, mate. Right, look at this. When you go past 9 times, the telescopic lens, it activates, and the filter. Watch. You see the filter there? Let me click back. Just making sure. See how there's a lot of glare? Look at the glare. Goes past 10 times telescopic, bang, then the filter kicks in. So I'm continuing to zoom in all the way. Now you can see it's not fitting on the screen here. It's not fitting on the screen. It's not fitting in frame because it's close. It's closer. Hold on. If I'm going to describe this, hold on. Now here's me zooming into the moon, using the same zoom settings, right? And the moon has not got a fake glare around it. The moon has not got a fake halo of extremely bright light around it to cause a glare. Well, this moon hasn't anyway. So, wait, let's go past, wait, 10 times. See how it appears. Look how it appears. Okay? You can tell that it's an object that's out in space and that I'm zooming into it, right? Now look at this one. Look at this, watch. Right. Now relatively the same zooms here. Right, now let's just continue watching to see what happens when you zoom into the sun. Right, can you see the magnifications there? Watch. It won't fit in the screen. And you can see up in this wee corner here, you can see where the camera is, and you can see where the lens is and where the focal range is. And you can see that it can't even frame the sun on its glare. It can't even frame the glare, because that's not a physical object here. All this is glare. The actual object, the actual light emitting object, is a tiny hexagonal lens array in the centre of this. This big glare. That's not even real. It's just glare coming from extremely powerful lights. Right? So it's at 62 times zoom, and look what it is. Look, you can see the edge of the sun here. It won't fit on the screen. And there's a simple explanation for that, because it's closer, and it's not millions of miles away. And then I'm zooming out, look. I'm zooming out again, see that? It fits on the screen there. Watch this, now watch this one. You see that? Did you see when I was zooming there? Look, it didn't fill up the screen, like it's the sun just did there. Look at it. I can zoom all the way into this thing. All the way in. And it fits on the screen, it's just not full screen. Hold on. You can clearly tell, see if you've got any common sense and ability to see things properly. You can see that when these two are zooming in, look, let me get another video here, there's something going on with that. The sun is not millions of miles away, it's local. It's not even a sun, don't call it a sun, it's a sin. There's a patent for it and everything, it's got patents. Right, look at that. Notice how it fits on the screen, and you can see how when you zoom into it, you can tell that it's an object that's outside the atmosphere. But when you're zooming into the sun, look, you just tell. It's closer, and it's a big glare. Let me see the other one. And it actually turned, on this video, I turned to the sun, which is in view at the same, the moon and the sun was in the sky at the same time. Now look where I'm zooming in here. Look at that. Look. Look. There's nothing there. And let me tell you, I've got images of the sun, and it fits, the real sun at sunset, and it fits on the screen, and it's an orangey colour. This is like a white lens array. Look at it, look at this, look, it's not even fitting on the screen. Look at this. Because it's local. This point of light that they're calling the sun is not the sun, it's local lens array, and it's been captured on film. It's been captured by many different ways. I mean, I've captured a big hexagonal feature in the clouds covered by surrounded by a glowing ball of light, which is clearly the hexagonal lens array in front of a massive blazing body of light. They're really doing a lot to try and hide these things, and they've been doing this for a long time. And I mean, these things have just come into my life unexpectedly. Like, I went for a walk, and I've taken a picture of a dark sky, but it wasn't a dark sky. There was something that made me take that picture anyway. And I've managed to take a picture of this thing, which is really sparked my, as you can imagine taking a picture of this. What is it? Imagine taking a picture of that. There's the original. And no, why would you take a picture of it? Why would you take a photograph of a dark sky for no reason? Exactly. Right, so what we've got here, right, did you see the hexagonal lens I showed you on the other picture? On the other Google Images It's basically the hexagonal lens array. Now, I've been thinking about this for the past few days. I've been trying to work this out about what's going on here. Obviously, they're using the sun simulator to but this is the thing. This is really strange. I think there's something no right here. Because why would they be using the sun simulator at night time? Right? Basically, the night was electric. There was an orange glow in the sky. The air was electric. Do you know why it was electric? Because there was a blazing sun. There was a blazing low battery. There was a blazing light source that was blazing through the thick geoengineered veils and smoke screens that had put up. And this is how it looked like with the naked eye. You can clearly see that there's some light emanating through the clouds there, and to your normal brain, your normal mind, that should not be happening because it's what? It's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 12:30 when that was taken. 12:30. Is that the new one? Is that the old one? This is the new one, actually. This is a new one. This is not the old one, it's a new one. So if you use your common sense, why would it be? Why? I mean, why is it that size? That's huge. Why would they be using the sun simulator at night time? So yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. There's a lot of things you want to say, but you just can't, because I don't want to be cheesy. You know, but you need to be really see if you're still going strong, you still got your heart and your light and your soul during these times, then you're an absolute warrior. And they'll never ever break you. They'll try. But all they'll end up doing is making you stronger, so you can deal with what's coming. And so that you can cope with these times that we're in right now. And you know, we're survivors. We're getting through these dark times. And if it wasn't through the darkness, we would not have seen the light in the first place. So I just wanted to end on that. And there was a couple of other things. See this here? Yeah, I spent all day on that. I spent all day making this star formation. I spent hours and hours and hours in the CryEngine making that. For it to get censored and ignored. The electric universe is a proper working model of the universe, not the Big Bang. Mainstream science is a complete lie. It all relates to how we think about ourselves as energetic beings connected to everything. We're not alone. We're never alone. Look at this stuff. It gets ignored. Ignored. All this great work, it just gets ignored. Look at it. I just keep on ignoring all my good work. Thank you. See you later. Bye.